The other day, somebody commented on one of my YouTube videos asking me the best way to maximize a thank you email. And I started to type a response and I realized I should do a video here because there's too much to talk about. The difference between a poorly written thank you note or no thank you note and an amazing one is massive. Not only is this a nice thing to do, but it's absolutely a way to help you land a job and increase the probability that you stand out as an ideal candidate and a great team fit. By the end of this video, you will know everything you need to know about writing a truly effective thank you note. Let's go. Hi everybody, my name is Ben White with Ben Talks Talent. I've got 12 years experience in interviewing, hiring, and recruiting, and I'm passionate about using my experience to help you become the best candidate possible and land your next job. In today's video, I am going to cover everything you will ever need to know about thank you notes, but before we get into the video, do me a favor. If you are new here, take 3 seconds, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and hit that notification bell. That way you never miss one of my videos, and you always get my free videos that drop weekly that are designed to help you and maximize your career. And if you are not new, welcome back. Let's get into the video. First and foremost, is writing a thank you note or email worth it? Absolutely. I could tell you as someone who has spent every day of his life for the last 12 years in recruitment, in talent acquisition, talking with hiring managers, making hiring decisions, I can tell you I've absolutely seen it be the straw that broke the camel's back. I have seen it be a tiebreaker. I have seen it be like the one thing where it's like they're on the fence, they get a really impactful thank you note and they go, yeah, you know what, this candidate was great, we should hire this person. It's not always going to be that. Sometimes they already have their mind up either way and it won't make a difference, but the reality is it can absolutely be that thing that takes you from being tied with another candidate to being slightly ahead. And if that's the case, you should always do it. Another thing people ask me about thank you notes is, Ben, what if the hiring manager just doesn't care and the recruiter doesn't care and the HR person doesn't care and the team of the people I hope to join do not care? That's absolutely right. Like some of the time, those people don't care. They're gonna get your note, they're not gonna care about it, they're gonna delete it, they're not gonna read it. Yes, but let's say that's 50% of the time. So if that's 50% of the time, the other 50% means they will care. It will make a difference. And if that's true, and I'm gonna tell you that's probably pretty spot on, you still want that other 50% that values it to get it, right? Yeah, like of course you do. So do it for the 50 that cares. Don't worry about the 50 that doesn't care. Now, step 1 to writing a really good thank you email, thank you note, is being intentional about getting the emails of the people you were talking with. Now, sometimes you will get an invitation on your calendar, right? Like on your Outlook. And then you can go to the people who are attending and you can get their emails. Great, problem solved. Sometimes you're invited in and then you can talk to the person at the front desk, at the secretary or the admin and say, hey, could you give me the emails of the people I'm gonna be meeting with? I would like to write them a thank you note. Or perhaps you're being set up with a coordinator. The HR coordinator is setting up and scheduling interviews. You can say, hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate you working with me and figuring out my schedule and figuring out a time that's gonna work. Could you also share with me the emails of the people I'm going to be meeting with? When we're done, I'd like to thank them for their time. Or when you go in there in person, you're gonna get cards, right? They'll say, oh, here's our cards. And sometimes you will get their cards, if so, problem solved. But not everybody's gonna bring cards. So on your way out, ask the admin, hey, I just got done with an interview. I just met with Pam and I would love to send an email to her thanking her for her time. I really valued her insight. Can you share with me her email so I could send her a thank you email? And they should do it. Remember, be intentional about this, get their emails. The last thing you want is to be like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. I want this job. I want to send them an email, but I don't have the information. Be intentional there. Now, the ideal thank you letter accomplishes 3 things. So I'm going to lay them out here. We're going to talk about them a little bit. But the first thing is it thanks them for their time. The reality is anybody who is in an interview with you has a job to do. And most of their job is not hiring unless they're a recruiter. But you should still send thank you emails to recruiters. Trust me, we appreciate it. Most of us do. But they are taking their time. They are taking time away. They could have tasks, they have to-dos, they have responsibilities, and they are foregoing time to complete those tasks to talk with you. knowing that it is appropriate to thank them for their time. So every good thank you letter lets them know, hey, I just want to thank you for taking the time to speak with me today and answer my questions. I know you were busy, but I really appreciate you and you taking your time. Now, the second thing you need to accomplish when you're writing a thank you note is you need to express enthusiasm for the organization and the role, all right? In a perfect thank you note, you do both. So you thank them for your time, you go, and then you go into the enthusiasm. You know, after meeting with you, it reinforced my belief that this is a type of organization I want to be a part of. The values, the product, whatever it is that you like, that you want to mention it here. Then say, in addition to that, after learning a little bit more about the role and the function and the responsibilities and hearing your thoughts on it, I realize this is a really good fit for me in my career, and I'm really motivated to step into a role where I can do these tasks for this organization. You want them to know that you like the company, you want them to know that you are fit for the role, and you are motivated to do that with this company. Both of these things matter. Lastly, the perfect thank you note recalls something specific from the conversation that they said to you that you can recall, right? So whatever it is, they're gonna be talking, they'll be answering your questions, they'll be sharing their thoughts on the company. Pick something out they said and then reference it in your thank you note. You know, it really made an impact on me when you talked about the learning and development opportunities you have received at this organization. I really am inspired by how that company is intentional about providing opportunities for their employees. I think that's great. I don't think you get that at all companies, so it's really encouraging to hear that you get that here, right? Speaking about something they mentioned to you and reinforcing that you approve of that, you're motivated by it, you're excited about that, that is key. The next logical question is, Ben, what if they don't say anything I can reference? What if they're pretty, for lack of a better term, bland, and they don't say anything that makes sense for you to reference? That can happen, but it doesn't have to, because you can ask prompts. You can ask things that will prompt them to say memorable terms. So what are some of these questions? Some of the really good ones that you can ask, they're gonna give you ammunition for a great thank you letter, is what keeps you here, right? By asking them the question, hey, there are tons of opportunities, the market is going crazy, and you've been here for a long time. What keeps you here? What motivates you to stay with this organization? By saying something like that, they are definitely going to say something that you can in turn use in the perfect thank you note. Absolutely. Want another one? Another good one is, which of your company values resonates with you the most? It's an easy one. I'm telling you, it's low-hanging fruit. If the company has company values, one, it's gonna make you look good, because companies who have strong company values and put it on their website and they talk about it, they value those. It's important to them. So you even asking about it gives you the opportunity to go, oh wow, that is a great value. That hits home with me, right? Like it like provides you with the opportunity to reinforce value alignment and cultural value fit. That's great. But it's also gonna provide you with ammunition to talk about it in your thank you note. You know, when you were talking about your company value of integrity and just how important that is to an organization, that really hit home with me. I think people can learn and grow as professionals, but what people can't learn is integrity. You either have it or you don't. So being a part of a company that has integrity in their core values would be amazing. That really inspired me, and I just wanted to let you know that that part of our conversation really landed. Something like that is another way to specifically reference what stood out to you, and if you can do those three things, you're probably going to have a great cover letter, as long as you avoid the following don'ts. Because as many do these things, as many steps there are to having a perfect cover letter, there are steps to avoid to having a bad one. Step one, don't just reply. If they sent you an email saying, Ben, we're gonna be meeting you on this day, right? They sent you an email, don't reply, and then your subject line is gonna be rescheduling a meeting, and then go there. Send them a brand new email. It seems like a little thing, but trust me, that is lazy. And when it comes to impressing people, there is no space for laziness, okay? Send them a brand new email. It's so easy. Step one. The second thing you need to avoid when you are writing a thank you note is you don't want to send the same generic email to everyone. So if you send, thank you for your time, I really appreciate it, I'm very interested in the job, send. And you send that to everyone, right? And then everybody gets the exact same email. They might talk about it and go, oh yeah, he sent me that too. Oh yeah, what did it say? Oh, the exact same thing. Oh, so it was meaningless. Don't do that. And definitely don't send one email to all of them, right? Like send an email, thank you for your time, and then include the 5 people you met with on the same email. It's very impersonal, it's generic, it's a blast. Send a unique one to every single person. And some of you are probably sitting here thinking, well, Ben, that seems like a lot of work. Well, yeah, landing your dream job is going to be a lot of work. So it's going to take a little bit more time. Now, the last thing, I saved like the best for last. You cannot make this mistake. Your thank you letter absolutely cannot have grammatical errors or spelling errors. Because if your job requires any amount of attention to detail, this could actually be a net negative, right? They could be sold on you like, Ben was a great candidate. He came in, he was energetic, he was loud, he had on a shirt and I couldn't tell if it was gray or blue, but I liked it. Like, they could be sold on you. And then they get your email and it is littered with spelling errors and they go, whoa, I thought this guy was a good candidate, but this guy can't even write. This is like 3rd grade level writing. Do yourself a favor, get Grammarly, put your thank you through Grammarly, read it aloud. Some people have a tendency to read things in their head, and when you read things in your head, you skip over the mistakes. But when you say them out loud, you catch the grammatical errors, catch the spelling stuff. Make sure you do that. The last thing you want is to do all this work to write an amazing thank you letter. Go above and beyond just for it to be riddled with spelling errors and actually be the thing that knocks you out of contention for the role. Well, there you go. That is everything you need to know to write an amazing thank you letter. And I hope by the end of this, I hope by right now, you feel like it's worth it. Good luck in your next interview. You got this.